brings magical beings from realms far and wide. Today we embark on a mystical journey of pumpkin carving delight, where spells of creativity and wonder shall take flight. Grab your wands, or in this case, your carving tools, and let's transform ordinary pumpkins into enchanted works of art. Here we are, arriving at the pumpkin patch. This reminds me of when I was young, visiting the pumpkin patch with my family, one of my favorite traditions.
The air was crisp, the leaves on the trees were rich oranges, golds, and reds, and the patch stretched out like a sea of orange, with pumpkins of every shape and size as far as the eye could see. Some were tiny and round, perfect for decorating, while others were huge and lopsided, just waiting to be carved into spooky jack-o'-lanterns. The best part was wandering through the vines, trying to find the perfect pumpkin to take home. Another one of my favorite moments was riding in the pumpkin parade on the beautiful Clydesdale horses. Their strong hoofs clopped along the path, and I felt like I was part of something truly special. The whole parade was filled with excitement and joy. It was such a magical experience. At the pumpkin parade, they had these giant circus tents filled with all kinds of fun. Inside, there were games to play, bumper cars to ride, and delicious food everywhere you looked, like caramel apples, popcorn, and warm pumpkin treats. The whole place was buzzing with laughter and excitement. It felt like a little festival right in the middle of the parade. And towering above it all were giant air balloons of Pikachu, Hello Kitty, SpongeBob, and others floating high in the sky. They were so big and bright, you couldn't miss them. Seeing my favorite characters bobbing along with the parade made everything even more exciting. It was like the whole place was a mix of magic and fun. At the end of the day, we were filled with joy, ready to head home and carve our pumpkins. It was the perfect end to our magical day. And believe it or not, this wasn't just any pumpkin parade, it was at Disneyland. My mom used to take us nearly every weekend when we lived in Orange County, and it made every visit feel like a grand adventure. Have you ever been to a pumpkin patch or experienced the magic of a parade like this?
Now that we've found the perfect pumpkins, it's time to head back home for some pumpkin carving fun. We can spread out some newspaper, grab our tools, and start turning these pumpkins into silly, happy jack-o'-lanterns. Whether they get big, toothy grins, silly eyes, or even a little hat, each pumpkin will have its own personality. What kind of face would you carve on your pumpkin?
The first thing we do when carving a pumpkin is take a good look at its shape. Is it tall and skinny, short and round, or maybe even a little bumpy? Each pumpkin has its own special look. Do you see any shapes that would make a perfect jack-o'-lantern face? Maybe a tall pumpkin would make a spooky ghost, or a round one could have a big, silly grin. Now that we've picked out the perfect pumpkin shape, it's time for the fun part, drawing the face. We can grab a marker and start sketching. Maybe you want a big toothy grin, a silly tongue sticking out, or some playful eyes. Don't worry if you need help. Someone can give you a hand drawing the perfect face on your pumpkin. What kind of funny or spooky design would you draw? First, we start by cutting off the top of the pumpkin like a little lid. Once it's open, it's time to reach in and scoop out all the ooey-gooey seeds and stringy insides. It might feel a bit slimy, but that's part of the fun. Make sure to get every last seed so we have plenty of space to carve our silly face. Next up, it's time to carve out the face. Using our carving utensils, we'll carefully follow the lines we drew. This is where our pumpkin really comes to life. But remember, carving can be tricky, so make sure to have an adult help you with this part. Once we're done, we'll see our pumpkin's silly or spooky face light up. And there we go, all done. Now it's time for the final touch, adding a candle inside. Once we light it up, voila, our pumpkin is glowing with its silly or spooky face, ready for display. Whether it's on the porch or by the window, our jack-o'-lantern is all set to shine bright. In this final part, we're excited to share some of our favorite pumpkin designs with you. From funny faces with big grins to spooky jack-o'-lanterns with sharp teeth, each one is unique and full of personality. We hope these inspire you for your next pumpkin carving adventure. Which design is your favorite? Thank you for joining us today on our grand adventure to the pumpkin patch. We had so much fun with you and hope you enjoyed every moment. Until next time, we wish you the most magical and fun-filled Halloween ever. Stay spooky and creative.